50 and T.I. been going back and forth about this Verzuz thing. So T.I. sat down with Gillian Wallow, shout out to the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and they talked about doing the Verzuz. And apparently 50 was down to do it, but then he backed out and started acting goofy.
Okay, so first, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and this talk about this, bro. Yeah, I ain't just called the blue.
You talk about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this man. Nigga, we were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and while we were around each other, man. You know what I mean? I said, what you think about this? Like, you want to do that shit? I said, yeah. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, like he ain't know what the going on. Then that's what it was about. All I don't even want to, man. Cause now I question your character. Just say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame ass, man, this goofy.
I think it'd be a great battle, though. I think,
man, that gonna happen. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I had no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect it.
50 then posted a horribly botched picture of Tiny, which I felt like was edited. And we know Tip don't play about his wife. Now, King responded and didn't hold back, rightfully so, because that's his mother.
Tell you something about my mama. Your mama dead as fuck, nigga. Your mama dead as fuck. Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Stop fucking playing with my mama, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. Your mama dead as fuck, nigga. Dig that bitch up.
Technical fouls on everybody, okay? Like, how did we get here from a versus battle? Like, we just wanted 20 songs versus 20 songs. Now we got people, you know, being called federal informants and people's wives and mothers being insulted. Like, how did all this escalate so quickly?
They both are artists, right? And Tip, he responded like an artist. He tilted that fitted cap. Y'all know Tip. He jumped in the lab and he dropped a new record called War. Let's hear it.
Well, first of all, I don't think that is a record targeted towards 50. I feel like that's just something that T.I. had on the new album that he got coming out called what
King's
is this album?
Dead or King is Over.
The King's Dead, something I can't. Yeah, something. The King something.
The King is
but
back.
I think that's
something, right?
Yeah, I think that's a record that he had with Toomp that he just decided to put out because it does fit the moment. And I'll tell you one thing.
Coincidentally, it fits the moment.
Boy, T.I. has never lost his rapping mojo. You hear me? Like folks just didn't care for whatever reason, but Dime Trap and The Libra and Us or Else and Trouble Man, Heavy as the Head, all those were dope albums, but folks weren't really checking for them like that. But T.I. has never slacked lyrically or musically. Y'all just cared now, and I'm actually happy y'all do.
Now, T.I. back to spin. I just wish these brothers to get it. I mean, they're both dope dudes, and I don't know where it went left. Like, you know, going back and forth in the studio, cool, but when it starts going left and right, it's like,
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Because honestly, what his wife got to do with anything? You know, the family thing. It's just weird. Them two brothers got a problem. It's like, all right, keep going at each other if that's what y'all gonna do. But the moment you bring somebody's family into it, it gets crazy. So I totally understand why King went off. You know what I mean? That's his mother.
Yeah, certain people you don't want to see beefing. And T.I. and 50 for me are two of those people. You know what I mean?
You want to see that.
Yeah, because I rock with both of them.
Hip-hop has always been built on competition. And when two heavyweight figures collide, the culture pays attention. That tension is front and center as T.I. takes his ongoing issues with 50 Cent out of the digital space and into the recording booth. What began as commentary and online jabs has now escalated into a full diss track, signaling that this is no longer casual banter but a direct lyrical challenge. In hip-hop, once an artist puts words on wax, the conversation shifts from talk to legacy. The roots of this conflict trace back to discussions around a potential Verzuz matchup. The idea of the two artists squaring off in a catalog versus catalog setting generated heavy debate among fans. But instead of solidifying into an event, the talks unraveled. T.I. publicly suggested that 50 Cent was avoiding the battle, a claim that carries weight in a culture where competition is often tied to credibility. Rather than answering with music, 50 Cent leaned into his well-known strategy of online trolling, using jokes and social media posts to dismiss the accusation without directly engaging. That approach, however, didn't sit well with T.I. in an era where social media dominates discourse. Choosing not to respond musically can be interpreted in different ways, either as confidence or avoidance. T.I. clearly viewed it as the latter. His diss track reflects a belief in traditional hip-hop rules. If there's a problem, it should be addressed through bars, not memes. The song's release marked a turning point, transforming a slow-burning feud into a public lyrical confrontation. When the track surfaced through TMZ, it immediately drew attention for its sharp language and serious tone. T.I. doesn't treat the situation lightly. Instead, he frames 50 Cent as someone who thrives behind a keyboard but avoids direct confrontation. This type of critique taps into a broader cultural debate about authenticity in the digital age, where online presence can sometimes overshadow real-world action. The most explosive element of the track is T.I.'s reference to alleged prison paperwork, implying that 50 Cent's name appears in official documents. In hip-hop, accusations of cooperation with law enforcement are among the most damaging claims one artist can make against another. While the track presents this as an allegation rather than a proven fact, the impact lies in how such statements influence perception. Even unverified claims, once voiced publicly, can linger and shape narratives. What makes the diss particularly notable is its delivery. Rather than sounding enraged or impulsive, T.I. approaches the track with controlled confidence. His calm, deliberate flow suggests calculation rather than emotion, as if the song is part of a larger strategy. This isn't about shock value alone. It's about positioning himself as willing to stand in the arena and daring his opponent to do the same. At its core, this conflict is about legacy. Verzuz battles are more than performances. They are cultural checkpoints that invite comparisons of impact, influence, and longevity. For T.I., stepping into that space represents a chance to reaffirm his place in hip-hop history. For 50 Cent, whose career has expanded far beyond music into business and television, the incentive to engage may feel different. That difference in priorities may explain why the situation escalated the way it did. The feud also highlights a contrast in tactics. T.I. leans toward old-school hip-hop values, where music is the ultimate response. 50 Cent, on the other hand, has mastered the modern art of controlling attention through silence, timing, and online provocation. Both strategies are effective in their own ways, but when they clash, tension is inevitable. Now that the diss track is out, the pressure has shifted. Historically, 50 Cent is not known for staying quiet when directly challenged, but he has always been selective about when and how he responds. Silence at this stage could signal preparation, indifference, or a calculated decision to let the moment pass. That uncertainty is exactly what keeps fans watching closely. Beyond personal rivalry, this moment matters because it reflects how hip-hop beefs evolve over time. Veterans clashing in public offer a lesson in how power, reputation, and artistry are negotiated in the modern era. Whether this exchange turns into a full musical back-and-forth or fades into online commentary, it has already reignited conversations about authenticity, courage, and what it really means to compete. Ultimately, T.I.'s diss track represents more than an insult, it's an invitation. By choosing the microphone over the timeline, he has raised the stakes and forced a decision. How 50 Cent responds, or whether he responds at all, will shape how this chapter is remembered. One thing is certain. Once music enters the equation, the culture listens, and history has shown that when 50 Cent finally speaks, he rarely does so quietly.